was a stylist by profession, but an actress by heart. Her name was Lena. She was 28 years old, and most days, the world passed her by without noticing. Lena was a stylist, the kind who stayed behind the curtain while others stepped into the light. She dressed people for moments that changed their lives, while her own dreams waited quietly in the background. Lena dreamed of acting. Not for fame, not for applause, but because acting made her feel visible. When she stood in front of a mirror and practiced lines, she felt like she existed fully, even if no one was watching. But in real life, no one was. So she learned how to disappear politely. She worked long hours, smiled often, and kept her dreams small when speaking to others. Being talented was never enough. Being kind was never enough. She was always overlooked. Until the night she decided not to be. At a private fashion event she wasn't meant to attend, Lena wore a dress she styled herself. It fit her perfectly, not just her body, but her hope. When someone asked what she did for a living, Lena hesitated. The truth felt too fragile to survive the room. "I'm an actress," she said. The lie didn't sound wrong. It sounded like something she had been waiting to say her whole life. No one questioned her. They listened. They smiled. They treated her like she mattered. That was how the lie grew. Lena began to dress like the woman she imagined becoming. Calm colors. Clean lines. Confidence stitched into every look. She spoke carefully, learned how to pose for pictures, and created stories that sounded believable: work abroad, private parents, a life that stayed safely out of reach. She never told anyone she was a struggling stylist. She was afraid that once people knew, they would stop seeing her again. That was when she met Noah. Noah was quiet, well-spoken, and carried himself like someone who had never needed permission to exist. He was an international actor, respected, admired, and distant from the noise around him. He noticed Lena before she noticed him. "I like how you dress," he said one evening. "It feels intentional." Those words stayed with her. Noah liked everything about her: the way she walked, the way she spoke, the way she listened more than she talked. He never asked too many questions. He assumed she belonged where she stood. And Lena let him believe it. She didn't tell him about the long nights, the unpaid work, the small apartment, or the auditions she never got called back for. She didn't tell him she styled clothes for people who forgot her name the moment they left the room. She didn't open up. Because she was afraid that if she did, he would leave. They grew close through conversation. Long talks. Quiet moments. Shared silences. But the truth has a way of finding its voice. One of Noah's friends noticed things. Small details that didn't add up. A conversation that brought pieces together in a way Lena hadn't prepared for. She felt it, the shift. The warmth changed. The air became heavier. Soon, the truth surfaced. Lena wasn't an actress. She wasn't famous. She was a stylist who had been pretending to belong. Noah didn't raise his voice. He didn't accuse her. That hurt more. "Why didn't you tell me?" he asked quietly. Lena struggled to breathe. "Because when I tell the truth," she said, "people stop listening." Her voice shook, but she didn't look away. "I didn't lie to hurt anyone. I just didn't want to be invisible anymore." There was a long silence. Then Noah spoke again, softer than before. "You think I was honest too?" She looked at him, confused. "I said I liked everything about you," he continued. "But I wasn't being fully honest either." He told her he had hidden parts of himself, how tired he was of being admired but never known, how lonely fame had made him, how he sometimes wished he could disappear the way ordinary people do. They had both been pretending. Just in different ways. Lena didn't suddenly become famous. Her life didn't change overnight. But she stopped lying. She began to pursue acting openly, even when it felt uncomfortable, even when it hurt. She accepted being seen as she was, not as who people expected her to be. And Noah stayed. Not because of the lie, but because when the truth came out, Lena was still the woman who dressed with care, dreamed quietly, and refused to let the world erase her again. For the first time, she wasn't pretending to exist. She finally did.